Hey guys, so I'm going to do a quick lesson on DEA numbers, okay? So, quick review of what DEA numbers are. So remember, I've talked to you guys um, about controlled drugs. Controlled drugs are drugs that have they have to be prescribed. Some of them are prescribed, um, and some of them are illegal. And they're a stair-step category, 1 through 5. One being the highest potential of abuse, and 5 being the least potential of abuse, but still there's some. So that's why it's categorized. Um, and the DEA, or the Drug Enforcement Agency or Administration, regulates these drugs, okay? They regulate where they're at in the market, the manufacturers that manufacture them, the doctors or providers um, who prescribe them. They basically, the DEA kind of regulates all aspects of those drugs, and for good reason. Right now, we are in I would call it a heroin pandemic or well, maybe not pandemic, but epidemic in the United States. I don't know about the rest of the world, probably the rest of the world too, to be honest. But I'll say heroin epidemic here in America, especially in the Northeast. It is a problem here in the South as well, but like in the Northeast, it's really, really bad. People are dying left and right from heroin overdoses. Um, and heroin actually is an opioid. It's illegal, but it's derived from opioids, and it's just a super strong kind of opioid that can kill you. Same with fentanyl. Fentanyl is actually it's prescribed, and a lot of times it's in a patch form that goes on your skin, and it's for long-term use of pain. So it's a pain management drug given to people with cancer and like really, bad long-term pain issues. Normally, it can only be given through like a pain management doctor, something like that. So, um, it is actually it's legal, but it's very lethal. And so if you get it in large doses in powder form and other ways, like there's been people who have literally died just from breathing in a room that had fentanyl in it. So what's happening is fentanyl is actually getting laced into some of the heroin that's in the market, in the illegal drug market, and it's killing people. So the DEA, of course, regulates that as well, tries to take down, these drug dealers who are, giving, I was going to say prescribing, but no, they're selling. Um, and they also, obviously are watching for doctors who are prescribing too much of things like hydrocodone, which is actually Vicodin and hydrocodone are the number one prescribed drugs in America, which I think is crazy. Like out of all the drugs, though, that's what's prescribed most. That's pretty crazy, right? So they're highly regulating those doctors as well, like making sure that they are prescribing them to people who really need them and kind of persuading them to prescribe other drugs like tramadol. Tramadol is still a pain management drug, but it's a lot less. It's a type of opioid, but it's not as addictive. So it doesn't have the addictive potential that something like Vicodin or oxycodone, oxycontin, those kind of things have. Anyway, so the DEA is trying to fight all of this. But you guys have to know, what these drugs are, what they're classified as, and in the pharmacy, you need to know this because when you see certain prescriptions coming in, you could potentially see a fake one. So that's a thing that's happening, and that's why we're going to talk about DEA numbers today. So the DEA numbers are actually given to every provider or doctor that prescribes controlled drugs. So it's going to be a number, and I'll show you an example here in a minute. And it has 2 letters at the beginning, and then I think it's 7 digits afterwards. Yeah, we'll have to look. It's either 7 or 8. And so you have this number, but sometimes they can be forged. And so you have to know how to, it's like a little basic math problem of how to verify it. So let me just go ahead and show you it so you have an idea of what I'm talking about. Okay. Okay. So verifying DEA numbers. This is just a one of my teacher friends put this out, so I thought this was pretty good. So the numbers are, so right down here, if you see where my little thing says, my little grabber says DEA number BJ6125341. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There is 7 numbers. And then you're going to have 2 letters at the beginning. So the first letter here, okay, in this thing is going to be the type of provider that it is. And if you scroll down here, you'll see the registrant type. A, B, and F mean hospital, clinic, practitioner, teaching institution, or pharmacy. M is mid-level practitioner, like a nurse practitioner, a PA, OD, ET, etc. And then PR is manufacturer, distributor, researcher, analytical lab, importer, exporter, reverse distributor, narcotic treatment program, that kind of thing. So you'll see these letters in that very first letter. It'll be here, just one of those. Then the second letter in this number here is always is going to represent the first letter of the practitioner or doctor's last name. And then she gives the example, if the number starts with BJ and the script is from a Dr. Shaw, that's a red flag because this should be S, not J, if it was from Dr. Shaw, right? So that's one way you can tell if a number is fake or not. Okay, so it's pretty easy. You don't even have to do the math. If you see this and you look at the doctor's name and it doesn't match, the second letter doesn't match the doctor's last name, the first letter of the doctor's last name, then you know that's fake. Okay, so how do we check the number though? So what if these are right? Well, it's pretty simple. Down here it says you're going to add together the first, third, and fifth digits. So 6, 2, and 3, these green numbers. You're going to add those together, and that equals 11, okay? Then you're going to add together the second, fourth, and sixth digits and double that number. So the second, fourth, and sixth, that's 1 plus 5 plus 4 is 10 times 2. You're going to times it by 2 is 20. And then you're going to add those two totals together. So remember the first, third, and fifth number that we got 11. We're going to add that to that number, the number 20, which we got down here from adding 1, 5, 4, and timesing it by 2. And then we got 31. Okay, this is where the magic happens. The second digit in that total is the check digit. This number right here. That should be the last number in the sequence, right? So there's that final number at the end that wasn't used in the math problem. That's that second number needs to be that number, okay? Now you're going to have some time to practice this. It's really not that hard. You just have to kind of like do it a few times and you're like, oh yeah, I have to double this one and then yeah. And you should, it'll be fine. So that is how you check DEA numbers. There will always be a question on the pharmacy certification test about this. So you need to know how to do this. You need to know what numbers stand for what letters stand for what, because usually they ask 1 or 2 questions about it, and you need to know about it. So you don't have to actually, what's it called? Memorize all of this, like ABF means this, and M means this, and PR means this. You kind of just need to know A, B, F, M, P, or R can be those numbers. I mean, those letters, sorry. So just that one of those letters is going to be that first letter in the sequence. Okay. Let's see. All right, so that is it on DEA numbers and DEA stuff. I am going to upload this document of how to do this, right? How to verify. And then I'm also going to give you a practice worksheet to go through and to try and verify yourself. So go through, verify them, and then we'll go over them next, or well, I'm making this the week before. So we'll go over them this week and we'll talk about them. Okay. So this is what we're going to be doing today. All right, guys. Hope you have a great day. Bye.